First round Quicken Loans National outside of Washington, D.C. Pick it up at the fifth hole, Mark Leishman. His third shot from off the green. And Leish would drain it for birdie. Finished at 4 under. Currently one back of David Lingmerth at Olympia Fields. KPMG Women's PGA Championship. The story of the morning would be Chella Choi, surgical at the 13th. Round of the day thus far, 566. Choi on top of the leaderboard in Golf Central on the air.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Welcome to Olympia Fields outside of Chicago, Illinois. Great golf course with some unbelievable history. Adding to that history this week at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Absolutely perfect weather conditions. Temperatures in the high 70s. Did get a bit breezy at times, but Chella Choi, no problem. 566, as you can see. Players still out on the golf course, and we will keep you updated every step of the way. And with that, we welcome you to Olympia Field. So glad you're with us here on a Thursday evening, second major of the year in the LPGA circuit. Ryan Burr with PGA Tour winner Aaron Oberholzer, LPGA's Amanda Blumenhurst. And guys, let's get to some of the afternoon action where some of the biggest names in the game out on the golf course. That's where they're at now. Included in that mix is Lexi Thompson. Amanda, pick her up at the 11th.
This is the reason why you'd rather be in the rough on this golf course than in a bunker. It just makes it difficult. You have to take big hacks out of it, and she does just that. She hacks out of it, bogeys, and drops to 2 over. Yeah, got
off to a tough start at +2. Lydia Ko also at the 11th, 8 feet for par.
Yeah, not exactly the way she wanted to start her round, struggling for pars. And I'll tell you what, these 8-footers, they wear on you if you have to do them over and over and over again. But she does a nice job of getting that one in the hole.
Back to Lexi from off the green.
And she decides to pull out a hybrid. I like that play. I do putter or hybrid any day than chipping.
A lot to like there. She would save par and stays at a +2. Let's stick with Lexi now, looking to get one back at the 17th.
The very difficult 17th hole, playing uphill today into a pretty good crosswind and slightly into. And she does what Lexi does with her long irons, and that's the advantage of power right there. Just a gorgeous shot.
Now lays down like an old dog in front of the fire. Easy birdie there for Lexi. She gets to +1. Same hole, it's Lydia Ko.
And this bunker got a lot of action today. It saw many, many balls, and Lydia just beautiful shot out for a nice little tap in. Didn't have to do much work there.
Yeah, so she stays at a +1. Back to Lexi as this group would make the turn to the front 9.
And Lexi in the bunker. And that is a beautiful shot out of a
lot of saving. A lot of saving going on.
There's a ton of saving going on.
Would
and
make
that's
birdie
good.
there. Gets back to level, does Lexi. Check in on In-B Park at the 2nd.
This girl is a machine. She has such a beautiful, simple swing. Never looks like she swings that hard at it, and it produces some serious results. She takes that second shot from the cut of rough and nestles it in right there.
Yeah, beautiful there, birdie. So In-B moves to even par. Same hole, Lexi on the rampage.
Well, and this isn't the side that you would think that they were going to make their moves on, but these are the best players in the world, folks, and that's exactly what Lexi decides to do, and she is making her move on this difficult, more difficult front 9.
So out on the golf course, you can see where they stand through 12 holes. Lydia has it at even. In-B Park a couple over par, and Lexi, after the tough start at +2, she's gotten all the way back to 1 under par. So that group hanging in there on a tough day at Olympia Fields. Transition to the #1 player in the world, So-Yeon Yu, also out in the afternoon, celebrating her 27th birthday today. And certainly everyone aware of that. Happy birthdays all the way around. And we start with you on the back 9. Pick her up, Amanda, at the 12th.
This is one of the most elevated holes on the golf course, a difficult hole because of the elevation. And she is just showing how she's the #1 player. Beautiful putting stroke, keeps her head down, and knocks that one in for 1 under.
Only multiple winner on the LPGA Tour this season. What a treat would be if she could go back-to-back in majors to start this season.
On 18 here, Ryan, from the center of the fairway. She had a lot of that today. She's had a lot of that this year. 80% of the fairways and hitting 80% of her greens this year. It's a good recipe for being #1 in the world, and she puts that right in the center of the green, and she'll have that putt for eagle.
Yeah, she would end up with the 2-putt birdie, as you see there. So 1 under through her opening 9. She moves now to the front. Amanda, pick her up at the 3rd, the par 4. She's in one of those bunkers you cautioned.
She is in one of those bunkers, and she just shows that she has all facets of the game covered. Not just a great ball striker, but that short game is absolute money. She hits it just to a few feet.
So, yep, she does. She would make that, and we pick up the scorecard through still, 5 holes to play here on the opening round, but 1 under in really nice position as she has pounded the greens, 10 of 13 greens in regulation for So-Yeon Yu, the birthday girl, #1 player in the world. We transition now to the defending champ. That, of course, is Brooke Henderson. She's 1 for 1 in title defenses on the LPGA Tour. She successfully defended in Portland last year, and she would get off to a hot start down the stretch. Here she is at the 4th.
Well, that is for par, so she struggled just a little bit, looked a little nervous coming out of the gates, but those help for sure. You can't count on them all the time, but nice way to keep her round going.
She was rolling the rock here at 13.
And she really was playing the wind all day. Made a nice little punch shot, and then also got the putter rolling. Tough pin positions, and she just was shooting it right at it and making those putts.
Now to 14, second shot from 64 after a sparkling drive.
Yeah, hammered it down there. And just plays it to perfection right there. Gorgeous, right underneath the hole, exactly what you need to do. Give yourself yet another good look.
Yeah, she made birdie there to get to 2 under, looking for more now at 17. Another long one.
This could be the most incredible up and down I'd seen all day from the trees. Knocks it there, and then also is able to capitalize on a great par save.
So still 2 under now at 18, the par 5. Seen a lot of birdies at this 18th.
And that was not the easiest of lies, standing in the bunker, ball way above her feet, and she hits just a gorgeous pitch shot above the hole.
And an opportunity to finish off what she started with a 3 under 68. And to the delight of many, the defending champ, Brooke Henderson, in there at 3 under in a great spot.
It wasn't anything special, starting out. It was really nice to make that long par save on number 4. That was special. My round really wasn't, but that was. And overall, I'm really happy with that day. -3 on this tough course and these tough conditions. It's a great way to start out this championship. The way I've been looking at it is there's 156 players in the field this week. The top 100 in the world here. Anybody can win this championship. Of course, I would love to do it again. But it's a different golf course. It's a different year. Everything's different. But I gave myself a great round today. Hopefully, if I can continue to do that over the next 3 days, I think I have a great chance.
Huge crowds here at Olympia Fields. They came out to see Michelle Wie playing some of the best golf of her career, really. She's been red hot, and she picked up that hot play at the 10th.
Coming off of 3 straight top 5 finishes, so she know the game is in good shape. And beautiful wedge shot there, just hitting those low stinger cut shots all day today that were working out fantastic, Amanda.
We now to 12, long birdie putt.
And she has been tinkering with her putting stroke and with her grip, but she's saying, you know what, whatever it takes to make it in, and that's exactly what she does, to move
And
1 under.
Michelle looking to finish up hot. She would birdie 4 of her last 9 holes. How about a 31 on her back 9? Sticks this tight.
Just continued with the short iron play. She's going to have a lot of short irons on this golf course if she keeps driving the ball the way she is. So she's long, even with the cut shot that she's hitting, and getting herself in a fantastic position. What is this, grip number 2 or 3?
She's always been unconventional. If it feels good, Aaron, go ahead and do it. And she does. Bingo, Drano, birdie time. And then Wie gets to finish up on that very reachable 18th, the par 5, looking to get on in 2 from 240.
She's one of the longest hitters on tour, so these par 5s she's just looking at with a smile on her face and being able to play that wind. You see her make a great punch shot to play through the wind and hit it to very makeable eagle chance, or 2-putt for birdie.
Yeah, she'll switch that grip again at 18 for birdie. Chance to put herself near the top of that leaderboard. Michelle Wie, 3 under par.
I kind of was sick of playing bad golf, honestly. I was just sick of being down, and really started this year with a really good sense of determination and motivation, and I just wanted to be happy. I just want to have fun out there. It's a long time to be out there to be miserable, so I just kind of made a pact with myself that I was going to have fun. I hit a bad shot, just brush it off, but just having a lot more fun out there.
Michelle Wie now 9 consecutive rounds in the 60s. In fact, her worst round in the last 9 is a 68. And she follows that up with a 68 today. In great position moving into Friday is Michelle Wie, the big name on that leaderboard. Tied at 3 under, you'll find your defending champion, Brooke Henderson, also in there at 3 under. So the Stars out early playing well as we continue to talk about the big three out this afternoon. They're still on the golf course, so we will continue to update their scores. But, boy, a lot to get into here, Amanda. It was breezy at times, windy, if you will, gusting 35 miles an hour to survive the morning wave and get in as Michelle Wie, Brooke Henderson does. How impressed were you with that?
I'm so impressed. I'm really impressed with how they knew ahead of time that it was going to be windy. They knew that they were going to hit those wind shots. We were out there watching, and Michelle and Brooke both were hitting very low, very controlled shots, knowing that they were going to need to play the wind, and that's what it was going to take to go low. And I am also just loved watching Chella Choi. She's kind of one of those players that's under the radar, not really that household name, but she's consistently a great player. She's making cuts. She might not always be in contention, but is always in the top 25. Just consistently great golf. And I'll tell you what, these girls out there, they know that that's not a surprise.
No, I don't think anybody's surprised to seeing Chella Choi up there. She's had a very good career. Only one win, but very, like I said, very consistent. The takeaway that I had today was just how well the golf course was set up from a championship perspective. You had everything. You had a chance to score on the par 5s. You had a chance to score on the shorter par 4s. But you had to do what you have to do in championship golf, and that's put the ball in the fairway, put the ball in play. If you put it in these bunkers, if you put it in that rough, you're not going to have the same control over your golf ball. It's like any other major championship, and the women that played the best put the ball in the fairway, put the ball in the greens, and in the proper spot of the greens, and were able to score. And that's what we saw from Michelle Wie. She played a very smart game of golf today, Ryan. Really kept the ball in front of her, underneath the holes, and didn't do anything rash. She didn't have any big misses. She kept the ball where she needed to keep it to score well, and that's what she did.
All right, let's get into Easy a little bit. You think about 2014, wins the U.S. Women's Open, and then falls off the map. Really, you had to wonder if the career was going to continue. I mean, it was a bad golf at times, and then, boom, she's unbelievable this year. You talk about the consecutive top 5s, 9 straight in the 60s. Where did this come from, Amanda? Well,
you heard in her interview, she's saying she's playing happier. That makes a really big difference as a player. Playing a little bit freer, enjoying yourself on the golf course it's going to transcend into a golf game. And I think that's really what is happening with her. She's letting maybe some of those expectations go a little bit. Just going out and playing golf and letting just the scores kind of talk for themselves, as opposed to feeling she has to perform and be out there with a smile on her face.
Oh, you think about this as an amateur, as a 15-year-old in this tournament, she finished as a runner-up to Annika.
Yeah.
What she accomplished at 14 and 15, it set the stage for maybe the greatest career in the history of mankind. Hasn't transpired. How tough do you think that's been?
I don't think it's been that tough for her. I think what you saw was maybe in the last couple of years it was tough for her when you saw her playing her worst golf. To Amanda's point, I think the expectations can be so high when on any player. It doesn't matter whether you're men's game, women's game. When you're young and you do something like that, look what happened to Justin Rose when he finished T4 at the Open Championship in 1998. And then he misses every cut on the European Tour the first year he goes out. That kind of stuff happens. I think that, and maybe she wasn't prepared. Maybe she had too much too soon. But the fact that she's mature, she's her own woman now, she's figuring out exactly how she needs to play the game. She owns her own game. She's doing what she wants to do. And I love the fact she doesn't care what people say about the way she's putting. And she's gotten more feel-oriented.
No more tabletop.
No more tabletop. Thank goodness for that. But I honestly think that when she plays with feel, she's got a chance. And I thought she was very mechanical, and she had some injuries to go along with it the last couple of years. But now that she's playing with more feel and she doesn't care what people think about, okay, I'm going to change my grip here, that's fantastic. And the more she can play feel golf, she can let that natural talent that she's always had since she was 13 years old come out. And like I said, if she puts the parts of her game together this week, she could blow this field out. She's got that kind of talent.
Well, she does move the needle, still does Michelle Wie, and that's good news for the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. When we come back, it's off to the PGA Tour. They're outside of Washington, D.C. at the Quicken Loans National. Justin Thomas took a 9 on a hole. That's right, a 9 on a par 4. We'll show you what happened when we come back.
Golf Central is brought to you by The new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. ShipSticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.